One thing that is really hard when you're a small streamer is having an empty chat. You're watching other bigger streamers and you can see people constantly talking in their chat and filling up that blank space. Today we're going to talk about a few things that you can do to get people talking and interacting with you and with each other in your chat. Before we get into today's video, this video is sponsored by the lovely folks at Owned.tv. Owned is an amazing website full of really useful resources for new streamers and experienced streamers alike. If you're looking for alerts, overlays, subscriber emotes, notifications, new screens, transitions, the works, Owned has you covered. You can browse through hundreds of these amazing bundles and start making your stream look really awesome today. If you're interested in checking out Owned and giving your stream that design boost it might need, you can follow the link in the description below. That will directly support me and the channel. Thanks again to Owned for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get into talking about some things you can be doing to make your Twitch chat more active and busier. First things first, if somebody joins your channel, don't just give them the scripted streamer, hey, insert username here. Don't just hit them with that. Try to be a little bit more personal with what you're saying when you're welcoming someone that's new into your stream. You have to understand that these people have watched 1,000 Twitch streamers and they've probably been welcomed the exact same way every time. Honestly, you could read it from a script. I've literally been followed by people before that have had the username really appreciate that, bro, just as a meme, because they know that that's what I'll say. They'll follow me and I'll say, really appreciate that, bro. Really appreciate that, bud. If you can say something there that's a little bit more unique and that genuinely might make somebody feel a little bit more welcome to your channel than just every other Twitch stream, they're way more likely to stick around. And they're way more likely to respond to you as well. Not everyone who watches your stream will be active in your chat, and that's fine. But some people are a little bit more shy and they might need that extra push to say hello. Giving them a proper, correct welcome and making them genuinely feel welcome is super important. So let's say somebody does join and you want to welcome them in, but you don't know what to say, you're struggling to find something to talk about. What you could do is, maybe they have kind of a unique username or a funny username, I don't know, Cheeseburger King 24. Right there is something you could say is oh, hey, Cheeseburger King. Have you had a burger today? You must really like cheeseburgers. Something stupid like that. I'm making up a really dumb scenario right now, but I hope the point sticks. If somebody has something in their username, maybe it's from a TV show you like, maybe somebody's name is Gollum123, and you can be like, oh, hey, heard about the new Lord of the Rings show coming out? You must be a Lord of the Rings fan. Find a talking point that you can maybe ask that person a question about. You may not get a response, but what you're doing there is you're opening the door for conversation. A lot of the time on Twitch, streamers feel like they have to always be talking, but a lot of people fail to realize that there's a difference between talking at your chat and talking to your chat. You might go on and you might watch a new streamer. They're doing a really good job of just commentating the game, but they're just completely ignoring their chat. That's most likely because their chat is blank and they don't know what to say. But they're not attempting to open any doors for conversation, right? They're not attempting to actually get a conversation going in the chat. There's been plenty of times where I've been lurking in a stream. I'm a bit of a lurker, don't get me wrong. Passively watching somebody on Twitch and they'll bring up some sort of conversation or bring up something out of nowhere that I'm like, oh, I've got something to say there and I'll talk about it. So using little tips like commenting on someone's username is a tool for you to open up a conversation with somebody in the stream. And then what you might start to notice is if you ask Cheeseburger where they got their name from, somebody else might talk to Cheeseburger about their username or tell them how much they like burgers. Now everyone in your chat's talking about burgers and there you go, conversation's flowing. One of the most gratifying things I've ever had as a Twitch streamer is when I would start my stream and I'd have my starting soon screen up. Before I had even switched over to my camera, people were already in the chat. That is just such a great feeling as a Twitch streamer, and it's something that you definitely need to appreciate. And if you don't have that yet, don't worry, it will come. But one thing you should do, whether there is people talking there or there's no one talking until you switch to your camera, be sure to thank those people that are there early. Those people that click the notification the minute they see it or click the link you post in your Discord or on Twitter or wherever, those people who come at the start of your stream, those are the true heroes of Twitch. You know what I mean? Those people that are there for you the minute you're live so that you're not talking to nothing. It's honestly the best. Make sure when you get on stream and you're, hey everybody, welcome to today's stream. If there is a few people there early on, try your best to thank them early. As I said, they will really appreciate it. And if you get in a habit of thanking those people, people will start to notice that, you really engage with your chat early on and they'll want to be there earlier on to be there for you and for each other and, say hi to their friends and all that kind of thing. Make sure you do thank all the people that come early, very early on into your own stream. So that way they feel seen and that way they'll feel heard and they'll be more likely to keep talking to you. If your chat's being a bit dead, and you're playing a certain game, feel free to ask questions completely unrelated to that game. There's a lot of people who may watch you that may watch you for you, not just for whatever game you're playing. They may not have a lot to say if you're playing Apex Legends and there's somebody in chat who's telling you all the best spots and the best gear and what to do. Feel free to ask a totally random question and start a friendly conversation about something completely unrelated to the game. I do that all the time. The other day we spent 25 minutes on my stream talking about Irish phrases. I was playing Demon Souls. We spoke about Irish phrases and how they're used for literally 20 minutes, and people in chat loved it. They were like, oh my god, what does that mean? Blah 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 blah. It started off a conversation. Then from there we went to, you know, phrases that are used in other countries and slang words and all that kind of thing. That sparked off a pretty big conversation. Chat went from being kind of empty to a lot of people all engaging in this one conversation about slang words in random countries while we're playing a game that is literally the darkest thing on the planet. The purpose that serves is that it pulls the people that are kind of unengaged with the game content you're playing, it pulls them back into the stream because they're like, oh, okay, I can't comment on how to kill this boss, but I can comment on this random slang word that I know, you know, and it makes them feel a little bit more comfortable, and then they'll start engaging in the chat. You see all these little breakaway conversations happen when you do these random things, because somebody might say, oh, well, here in New York, we say this, and then somebody else in the chat might say, oh, well, I'm from New York, no way, that's so cool, and then these two people are having a conversation with each other. There's random little conversations that you can create here just by asking a very simple question. If you're struggling to find that question, literally Google conversation starters. There's so many of them. Don't just talk about the weather or something lame. Talk about a random dream you had one time. Talk about a scary story that happened to you. Talk about something supernatural that you might have seen. That time you saw a UFO or thought you saw a UFO. There is an infinite number of these random things that you can start to talk about, and I guarantee you that somebody will perk up and start a conversation with you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, reach out into chat. If you're stuck at a certain point of a game or you're like something's not working for you, ask your chat for help. Not enough streamers do this, in my opinion. Maybe I do it a lot because I suck at games, but especially on my channel, one of the things I kind of specialize in is first playthroughs. I like to do, you know, first playthroughs of games I've never played before, and I always end up getting stuck. But what happens is somebody will come in from the chat who's played that game or loves that game and has hundreds of hours in it, and I'll end up asking for help a lot of the time. You know, a lot of people have backseating turned off and stuff like that, and that's okay. If you do have backseating turned off, you can still ask for help. It's not against your own rules just because you break it. Or if you're like, need some information or you're confused about something, ask chat. People in chat love that. They like to feel that they're helping the streamer along on their journey. They're helping through this playthrough, almost kind of playing the game through you, which is really cool for a lot of people. So don't be afraid to do that. If you do notice that your chat's a little bit dead and you want to get a conversation going, if you do know the answer, just ask anyway. Especially with certain games that can be really confusing or have like a lot of puzzle elements or something like that. People love to help. Sometimes it's really frustrating for some people to watch the streamer fail and fail and fail and fail. So if you ask for help, people will be glad to answer those questions. Put something in your stream title that might inspire a bit of a conversation. Maybe you put like a riddle in your stream title. I've seen that done a lot where people are just putting random riddles in their stream title and people read the riddle and they want to come into chat and see if they can guess the correct answer. Or for example, the other day on my stream I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time. And I put in my stream title, I'm either going to love this or hate this. People were seeing it, and I noticed that stream performed particularly well because a lot of new people were coming in and asking like, oh, hey, how are you getting on? Do you like this game? This is my favorite game ever. It kind of is a way of enticing people in. This kind of tactic is a little bit different than just using an interesting stream title like I talked about before. You're not just putting like a funny joke or like a bit of a meme or whatever. You could be literally asking a question you want the answer to. I keep going back to the Souls games here, but whenever I play the Souls games, like I used to put in my title like, please, someone help me. I would put that in, like I would put in my title that I was actively asking for help, and that caused a lot of people to come in. I played those games months ago, and people who came just to answer whatever question I had in my title that day are still active participants in my chat today. Think about something you could put in there. Like I said, a riddle, maybe it's a joke. People come because they want to hear the punchline. They stay because you're awesome. Conversations have a snowball effect. It just takes one person to start it and more people will join. Somebody in chat might agree with what this person's saying. Somebody might disagree. And you can build off that. Once there's more conversation happening, you then have much more of a chance to interact with the chat, creating more of a conversation, right? Because there's stuff there that you can respond to now, as opposed to it being empty before. One big mistake here that I see a lot very small streamers do is calling out people in their viewer list. If you click the little icon on your Twitch chat, you can see who's in your Twitch chat, or a pretty accurate representation of how many people or what usernames are in your Twitch chat. One thing you should not do, and I see people do this a lot, is go through that and say hello to everyone in it or ask them how they are. It makes people uncomfortable. It makes people awkward. Like that, a lot of people don't like to talk in Twitch chat, and that is completely fine. That is totally fine. The worst thing you can do for conversation as a streamer is if you open up that list and you're like, okay, who's here today? And you call out people's names in that list, and it puts pressure on that person and they just feel awkward and they'll probably just leave. I see this happen a lot when somebody starts up their stream, and it's particularly if their chat is empty, because you have to understand the streamer, if they have their views turned on, which you shouldn't, you can see, all right, I've got 6 viewers now, but my chat's empty. How come these 6 people aren't talking in chat? They'll ask this question. So what they'll do is they'll go in to see who those 6 people are. I feel like new streamers do this a lot, and it's just not a good idea because they want people to start talking, and their hopes by like calling out or saying hi to somebody is that that person will say hi back. But a lot of the time it just makes people awkward and uncomfortable. If somebody decides to be quiet or to lurk in your chat, leave them. Respect the lurkers. Appreciate the lurkers as well. We see you. But don't put pressure on somebody to talk. If they don't want to, they'll just leave. Try think of little things that you can implement into your chat that might give people a little boost or a little giggle that may make them want to talk more. So for example, we recently just added like this AI bot to our chat. He's like this deep learning chat bot that basically learns from chat, and every 10 minutes or so, he just spouts out a random sentence that he's pulled together through his logs. It's hilarious and people love it. Shout out Spagbot, you're a legend. I'm not saying that's exactly what you should do, but it's a cool idea. Maybe there's more ideas like that. Can you add like a death counter to the game you're playing or something that people will come in, they can exclamation mark deaths or something and check how many times you've died. They'll laugh at that like, oh my god, last time I was here he was only on 50 deaths, now he's on 300 deaths. Those kind of things that you can input into your chat, things that you can find online or find in Streamlabs or OBS. People love that because it's almost like a little mini game within chat for those people. It keeps them engaged. The more engaged they are, the more they're going to talk. So try think of that. Come up with little things. If it doesn't exist, maybe you can make it. Maybe someone you know can make it. Maybe you hire someone to make it. And especially if you have like a really original idea that maybe no one's done yet, it can separate your chat from a lot of people. Think of your chat as like the cool bar with an arcade machine in the corner. People come for the bar, but they also love the arcade machine. Little things you can do to make chat a more enjoyable experience. There's point gambling systems. There's Twitch's new predictions, which is also a great way to boost conversation as well. There's so many of them. Try implement more of them. It really, really does help. If you just hit affiliate, firstly, congratulations, you rule. If you haven't hit affiliate, keep going, you'll get there. One big thing you now have access to on your channel is emotes. Firstly, you want to make emotes that are original and cool, but you also want to make emotes that are spammable. You see a lot of hype emotes, you see a lot of PogChamp type emotes that have been tailored to fit that streamer, but you want to make emotes that are spammable. If you do have a hype emote, say, like for me, I have like a little 2 pairs of shoes that says hype on it. It's really cute. But something cool happens in the game, you get a win, you do something cool. People flood the chat with hype emotes, or you can say to chat like, hey, can I get some hype emotes? Whatever. It's a way for people to feel like, oh, something has happened. We have the perfect response for this. Here it is here. Insert emote. For example, I have an emote where I look scared. I get really easily jump scared on my stream. So if I get jump scared, people might use the jump scare emote. It's funny, like a little thing. If one person spams it, somebody else will spam it. Obviously, you want healthy spam. If you can make emotes that can create that type of buzz for people, they'll be waiting for the perfect opportunity to use your new emote that's like funny, spammable. Maybe it's a take on an existing emote, whatever. Chat like that stuff. The more you can incorporate it and the more original way you can incorporate it, the better. And that is how to boost the activity in your stream's chat. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know how you got on with any of my tips. And if you really enjoyed the video, please do leave a like and subscribe. It means the world. You can also catch me on Twitch. I'm live 4 days a week at twitch.tv/x2shoes. It's a lot of fun over there. I make really bad jokes and play video games at a very medium standard. Maybe below medium. I don't know. But it's fun. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have an amazing week on your streams. Have a good time. Much love. Stay safe. Bye-bye.